Hi, this is Janet Diane Moria Swerdlow. Welcome to another edition of Healthy Eating with Janet. Today we are going to make pumpkin muffins. Now, as we go into the northern hemisphere into fall, we have a lot of squash available, and of course pumpkin is squash. And some of you may have seen my podcast where that I actually cooked the pumpkin and made my own pumpkin puree. You can do this with any fall squash that you like for these particular muffins. Something that's a little bit heavier and like a pumpkin once it's cooked and drained. So with that said, I'm going to show you some fun things to do. It's delicious, it's nutritious, it is extremely low carb, and you can put them in your freezer, your refrigerator, or serve them with butter or muffins, butter or jam, or just eat them plain. So with that said, let me show you what I've got here. I have 6 eggs, which we're going to put in. And I have a half a cup of pumpkin puree. This is the homemade pumpkin puree, which I've talked to you about before. That goes in. I have, let me put this over here for now. I have in here a half a teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of cinnamon, and a 1/4 teaspoon of cloves. And I have a half a cup of homemade applesauce. And I'm going to add a half a teaspoon of stevia to sweeten it just a little bit to keep my carbs a little bit lower. If you would like, you could replace the applesauce with maple syrup. This is going to keep our carbs so that the muffins are actually going to be about 2.5 to 3 carbs a piece. So the applesauce is going to go in. Along with that stevia I've just mixed in. And then I have a half a cup of coconut flour. So that goes in. So I'm going to stir this up, and while this is happening, I have a half a cup of coconut oil here that I'm going to start heating, and then mix that in once this is done. It makes a beautiful batter. You'll be surprised. Here we go. Okay, this is mixed nicely. Now we're just going to come over here and make sure that the coconut oil is all melted. This last little bite of pumpkin that's hiding out on me. Here we go. And the coconut oil, you know, is very delicate and it will melt very quickly. So this is our half a cup. And just when it's melted, then we're just going to work that in, and then we're going to pop it into our muffin cups here. 400 degrees for about 15 minutes. Now the coconut flour does burn relatively easily, so you're going to want to watch your muffins pretty close. So you might check them when they're, I would say 10 to 12 minutes. Might take a couple more minutes than 15, but that's approximately how you're going to set your timer. 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Alrighty, turn this off. And you don't want to just dump it all in because you don't want it to cook, so we're going to kind of drizzle it in a little bit here. down on our sides. Makes 12 muffins. And with the stevia, as I mentioned to you before, there's only a few carbs per muffin, 2 or 3. And just divide it evenly between your muffin wrappers. Now these do swell up a bit during baking, and then after they cool, like many baked goods, they do shrink down a bit. It's a fast recipe. I've got some pale orange for truth going on in here. Kind of even out those muffin cups a little bit. Okay, just about got my last little drop there. And it's relatively even. Pop them in the oven for, like I said, I'm going to set my timer for about 15 minutes. And then we'll check on them in just a couple of minutes. So, hang on. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes. Let's take a check and see how these are doing. Oh yeah, these are beautiful. So you can see how nice they are when they rise, and they're fresh from the oven. And yeah, they're plenty done. If you're not sure, you can do the old toothpick test where you take a toothpick and you just insert it into the metal, pull it out, it comes out clean. That means that it is done. So I want to get them out right away because in the hot pan with this coconut flour they will burn. But anyway, they're really a beautiful little cake. So as you can see, extremely easy, 2 or 3 carbs per muffin with the stevia. You put in the maple syrup, you're going to have a little bit more, but still very reasonable. So thank you so much for joining me. I want you to have a wonderful fall. Enjoy your pumpkin or squash or whatever you have going on out there, because I'm going to show you some other recipes as we advance a little further into fall, what you can do with your squash. Take care for now. Bye-bye.